Ordinarily, in a working society, your right to make decisions will be deprived from you, and legal guidance will be assigned to you. Many of you are brain dead, and that is a fact. If you cannot support your own freedom at this point, with what is going on in Nigeria, it means you are not capable, you are not mentally fit, you are not fit physically and otherwise to make decisions concerning your future. And that is exactly the way it is. So, my people in the United States Kingdom, I do not want to waste time before I make a very brief speech, because I can see that the spirit has overwhelmed everybody and the donation will continue. But I just want to make a little bit update, as that may be the only update I will give or the speech I will make today. What we do in the government is in the open. We are not hiding anything. We are not underground or doing it secretly that, we don't want to talk so that the enemies will not copy what we are doing. We are in the open. And for the past few days, what we decided to do was to show to the enemy little of our capability. A lot of people never believed that the kind of sophisticated weapon we have today will be in Biafraland. And let me tell you, this is the beginning. The reason why you see them crying for the very first time in the history of Nigeria at the National Assembly. The reason why you see them sharing flyers of Simon Ekpa. The reason you see those terrorists who have killed us unchallenged for many years crying today for the very first time is because of most of those things you see on social media. We just decided to show to those who are not aware of what is happening, because it is not being reported anywhere. You can never hear in the Nigerian news that 30 armored tanks were destroyed. You can't hear it. When we say it, a lot of people think it's a joke. You can't hear that helicopter and fighter jet is bombarding Biafra territory. You can't hear it in the news. When we announce it, a lot of people think, it is we are joking. So we decided that we will showcase some of the things that you have supported the government to be able to do in the defense, only defense. There are many things happening diplomatically. There are many things happening in many sectors of the government. There are many things going on internationally that we are yet to make public. We've engaged lobbyists, we've engaged international consultancy firms, we've engaged many things and many organizations that many people don't know about. It is part of this particular liberation phase. What we are trying to do is to make sure we put Biafra in the global stage of discussion. As soon as we continue the second stage of the self-referendum voting, a lot of things will be made public, and by then, things will begin to take shape. But the promise we are making to the Biafra people is that no terrorist will enter Biafra land and attack and go back to tell the story to those who send him. Nobody. Not those in uniform, not those in ragtag, not the non-state actors, not the state actors. We will engage them. It may not be immediately, but whoever that come to Biafra land to attack, believe me, his days is numbered. It is self-defense, the most aggressive one that the Biafra government have activated. Nigeria have killed us for ages. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was broadcasting on Radio Biafra for many years, but because of criminals that surrounded him, they used the opportunity of Biafra, and when he called upon the people that want to fight for Biafra, many criminals embraced that call. After 8 years, he was crying for just 100 men. Nobody is talking about it anymore. There are millions of Biafrans following him, shouting, our leader, shouting Biafra, Biafra, and he was shouting 100 men. Today, you have seen the reason why he was shouting 100 men. Because almost all of them turned their back on Biafra. Almost all of them today are supporting Nigeria. Almost all of them today turn back to support those who killed them in Aba. The same people that were shouting, give us gun, we need bullet, we need gun, we need gun, today are shouting and supporting those who murdered them in Enugu. That was the reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was shouting for 100 men, because he couldn't see anybody. He saw that all of them are fake. When he make decision to stop election, these same people that call themselves DOS or IPOB today, which is IPOB Nigeria, there will be the same people go back to him to persuade him. After they have collected money from the governors, they will go back to him. You want to cancel election? You want to cancel election? You want to boycott election? You want them to tag us terrorists? If you boycott election, they will call you terrorists. I want to know, how can stopping election as a freedom fighting movement will make you become a terrorist? Is there any relationship between stopping election as a freedom fighting movement and terrorism? How does that amount to terrorism? When you just going to tell people to stay at home, how does that amount to terrorism? We did it. Did we take our word back? The answer is no. Did we stop the election? Yes, we did. Over 25 million people who registered for election, only 20-something, only 4 million people voted. 20-something million boycotted the election. Are we a terrorist? The answer is no. Are we the one who killed people in Lagos for election? Not us. It was the Nigeria state, the terrorist state of Nigeria, that committed act of terrorism during the election. And that is what we try to prevent our people from becoming a victim. And many who did not listen to us fall victim of this election, the past election. Those who were killed, did anybody remember them? The answer is no. Those who were butchered in Lagos, did anybody remember them? The answer is no. Did anybody compensate their family? No, the answer is no. Did anybody, those who lost their businesses in Lagos, that their businesses were burned to ashes, did anybody compensate them? The answer, till today, the answer is no. Now I ask you, who are the terrorists? But these people deceived Onyendu for many years. If not because of the glory of God or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra would have lost trust in him. Because there is nothing in this world like when a man says something and doesn't stand on by it. There has been many times they declared boycott election. At the dying minute, they will call it, because he was under pressure by the same people who was fighting Biafra with him. He never knew then that these people were all fake until the last minute when he said, I need 100 men. I cannot see any men here. He asked, which people am I going to go to war with? People don't understand. Those genuine people today may not understand what was going on. He was shouting for 100 men. Where there are millions of people, IPOB scattered all over the world, this man was shouting for 100 men. He couldn't find any 100 men among them. Today, I promised him that when he is coming out, he will have millions of Biafrans who are genuine. And he is coming out with the Biafra flag. Believe me, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released in a very historic manner. And what they want us to do is to stop Biafra struggle and begin to fight for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in place of the Biafra struggle. Because we understand this very well. We defeated that plan. Many of them today is being used. That's why you can see some people who call themselves Jewish or whatever. They will gather in their number. They will write script and give them. Say, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not here. Just go and say, don't support a referendum because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So they want you to make, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the fight that you have to be fighting. And today, we are killing the bird. We are killing many birds with one stone. Do you understand the point? as they hold him, we have proven to them that holding him will never stop Biafra. We also prove to them that holding him will become the most expensive thing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become the most expensive commodity under the Nigeria state. The more they hold him, the more expensive it becomes. The more they detain him, the more we will make Nigeria feel the pain of the crime of international kidnapping. The more they hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in dungeon, the more Nigeria economy will go down. We will crash it, believe me. Because it is not just about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is about thousands of Biafrans who are...
All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back updates and information as it is hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first. We'll collect them. Let's go down to the news proper as it is hot. You don't share it for the obodo or for the matter where we say it the drop for my table. I go to bring down to you one by one. Before I continue, I want to say shout out to all of us of freedom all over the world. And the man and the ma and the freedom now must say I see the be. If I said your honors and the of the people don't answer no by saying some things, maybe say they don't say first of all. Remember that every 31st May of every year is a sit at home by the indigenous people of Biafra. That particular day is used to commemorate the late fallen heroes of Ndi Biafra of the 1967 to 1970 Civil War, which after the conclusion of the war, the then president or head of state, Gowon, declared no victor, no vanquish. But as the matter be now, the Biafran people don't talk say that May 31st they go to use as a day to say, okay, now today we dey remember say our heroes fall, and also a day we go remember say now Lord Lugard carry the Eastern Protectorate, the West and the North, conjoin them together, and now waiting they call amalgamation for that time. But as they can't talk that one, the Southeast governors can't carry mouth put say, say where the day say now over their dead body, say this sit at home where we say the IPOB them boys don't put for this May, say it go stand. And so the Southeast governors don't go marshal out their soldiers. They say all their police force, all the army force, all the EFCC security and the rest of them, they say all those force to go there prepared to combat anybody where we say they carry body put for that day where we May 31st to say that they enforce that particular sit at home for that day. They say anybody where we say carry body put, nine that person they say he go collect woto. As the Biafra Liberation Army come hear that one, they say in the media, say who be those Southeast governors we say they carry matter put for the. They say now then get the land. Now la no we self ma the only we what I go now. You know, when the white man came to the eastern part, southeast, Alandi Igbo, they were surprised to find out that democracy had already taken place in Ali Igbo before they came. Because then, before you be able to file out a matter, you first of all go to your kinsman. If your kinsman could not handle that matter, you can be taken to the age grade. If all these people could not handle that particular issue, that is when the issue is now taken to the Ndinze. And if Ndinze could not handle it, it now moves to the Ndinze also. And when Ndinze also fails, the Igwe of the Obodo will put mouth for that case. And that is how Ali Igbo has been built. And that is the foundation, the structure that a white man met. And he was not able to combat that particular culture and lifestyle that has been inbuilt in Ndi Igbo, and he decided that the best way to conquer these people is by dividing and ruling, and he divided, and actually he is ruling. Meanwhile, that is not the case of today. Let's go to what thing that happened. Ohanes Ndi Igbo said no plan to apologize over the 1966 military coup. Now Ohanes Ndi Igbo, they talk that one. President General of Ohanes Ndi Igbo worldwide, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyang has said the Pan-Igbo group has no intention to apologize for the 1966 coup as it was a strictly military affair. Iwanyang made the assertion at the weekend in Owerri, the Imo State capital, while addressing newsmen. The leader of Igbo Apes group denied claims made by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB that Ohaneze Ndigbo was planning to trip to Sokoto State to apologize to the North over the 1966 military coup. We can't go to beg anybody. Igbos were killed in that coup. As for Ohaneze Ndigbo is concerned, Igbos did not have any affair with the 1966 coup. It was purely a military affair. It's not true. It's fake news. The man that even carried the fake news has apologized. What happened was that we had a retreat at Enugu. Nobody talked about it. The only thing we did was to appoint a peace and reconciliatory committee because we want peace for our people in Lagos and everywhere. First of all, Igbos didn't carry out any coup. People who were killed were not killed by Ndigbo. They were killed by soldiers. Igbos didn't kill anybody. The coup was carried out by soldiers. It was purely a military affair. Nothing to do with the Igbo. We have no reason to apologize to anybody Ohaneze Ndigbo objects. The Igbos may have been involved, but they were wearing military uniforms. Igbos didn't kill anybody. We are not begging anybody. I have never accepted responsibility for that coup. Nobody told Nzogu to do coup, just like nobody told the others that did coup in Nigeria, Iwanyang said. According to him, part of the mandate of Peace and Conflict Resolution Committee set up by the body is to look into how to compensate Igbos whose shops were destroyed or razed by fire in market and had nothing to do with the alleged apology to the North. Further, he disclosed that Ohaneze Ndigbo will publish a book titled Our Story to tell the story of 1949 about Ndigbo to correct the misinterpretation from different authors and quarters. Iwanyang maintained that he had championed the cause of Ndigbo worldwide, even at personal cost, including the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. At my age, I expected people to respect me. I don't earn a salary as President General. I use my personal money to pay the backlog of 6 months' salary of the staff. I championed the release of Nnamdi Kanu and made it an Ndigbo demand, and even his family knows this. I was shocked to hear the voice notes circulating all over the world that we held a poorly attended retreat in Enugu and insulting me. Most people know it's false, but in that meeting, we had over 200 people in attendance. I didn't see the need to invite the governors just for the inauguration of committee members. We set up industrialization, health, agricultural, skill acquisition, relief agency, and peace and conflict resolution committees. Already, people have acknowledged and congratulated us for our actions so far, he said. My people now don't see as it happen for that matter. Now the Ohaneze Ndigbo, now then they talk and they yarn this one. They say nothing like apology for that 1966 coup. That immediately after that, stepping into 1967, Ojukwu declared the Republic of Biafra, the Republic State of Biafra. You know that history if you are attuned to history. Meanwhile, you know that as be where you never be before. But the question I will ask is Ohaneze Ndigbo too? Because you hear from Ishi Guzoro, you hear from Nnanyi Iwanyang and the rest of them. When I see you, this is the same thing that happened during the colonial era, where Ndigbo were divided due to one or two things. But meanwhile, I will say that Osita de Mamano de Balbo, as see the be, U.S. military veterans don't write Justice Bintanyako, say make he step down for that particular case. Now the military veterans of Igbo descent, now then they write this one. They say make Bintanyako step down for that particular case. Say in one use that particular case to salvage the matters where we say if they happen for him family as in papa and one of his son they into which they call some crime where we say they accuse them of with a concern some money fraud and the rest of them. And the waiting these veterans they allege be say, e be like say Bintayako no know wetin they do. Meanwhile, this will show you that if American veterans of Igbo descent are now plugging into this matter that concerns Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, this is to show you that things are actually getting out of hand though, because if these people, these American trained soldiers, say make they enter this obodo, can't do something, my brother, it go be bloody, oh. As e go be, I no sure say anybody go remain, because some of the things wey we dey watch for American movie wey one soldier dey kpai like 100 soldier. If that thing na true for real, na im be say if one these veterans enter this obodo, na im be say everywhere don scatter o. Meanwhile, make I dey shut down the curtain here. And if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button. Remember, say for Enugu right now, they say police don't arrest 195 suspects. They have also rescued 19 abducted victims in Enugu State. Recently, there has been a lot of katakata in Enugu, in Nimbo, in Enugu State, to be precise, where herdsmen are burying Mpadia. Somehow, some people are saying that his herdsman wants to use indirect way to, annihilate the people, the original origin, indigens of that particular Nimbo, in order for them to dominate. When I do, ma anachupo onye nwane kpalu na anya n'obodo a. Somebody answered me and said, Nyokopus. I say yes. He said, make I tell you something. He said, I say, okay, tell me. He said, have you forgotten that everything is possible in Nigeria? I say, my brother, how can you say that? He referred me to something that happened in Imo State, where a governorship candidate where they for fought somehow rose to power. By removing other people, remove the first, remove the second and the third, and now became the governor of that state. I say, which state be that? He said, make I use my tongue, count my teeth. I say, okay, I understand what you they talk. Makana okuni no bria kene ja gbawal makana ndi ba isi na ngwugwu a na-atọpe n'ọdụrọ m imu mbọ. Say Fulanis go from their Fulani oligarchy land come to Nimbo in Enugu State and occupy that particular place. Another person call me Nyokopu say, make I take eye look for this thing. Say, he sure say government eye no dey for that particular matter. I say, how government eye go dey for that? They say that place na agricultural area. You be like say na government. All these people where they for government want to dey rear animals and they want you start cultivate that place. But now where go dey, now where people they like dig. Thank you for listening. God bless you.
The Liaison representatives from Europe, Asia, Africa, I welcome every one of you to this town hall meeting to brief Biafrans in the United States, our every 2 weeks achievement and update. Because of the phase we are into in the liberation of Biafra, it is very imperative that those of you in the United States working day and night to see the progress of this government be briefed. So you know that the movement you are part of, the progress we are making, and the plan we have for the next 2 weeks. The last time I had this town hall meeting with you, I made it very clear that as a result of the propaganda from the Nigeria state and the difficulties we are facing, especially in disseminating information and, of course, creating awareness to our people back home, that I promise that the Biafra satellite TV, before coming back today, will be live in Biafraland. I also promise that before this today, we are going to have the Voice of Biafra satellite radio. And today I have come to inform all of you in the United States that the Biafra, Voice of Biafra satellite TV is live in Biafraland.
Good luck.
Not only that, I've also come to inform all of you that the Voice of Biafra satellite radio, 97.5 FM, is also live in Biafraland.
Before this today.
So,
please mute, Dr.
yeah, so our next agenda is to see that these satellite radio transmitters are scattered across Biafraland. And, I promise that it is going to be, we're going to focus more on the coastal state at this point. But because we have, previously used some transmitters in the hinterland. And so I wanted the IT technical department to focus on, bringing those transmitters back to life. And then the new transmitters will now channel to the coastal state before we, from there, push to the hinterland. So today, the Voice of Biafra satellite radio is live in Ebonyi State, and gradually the other broadcasting transmitters will be refurbished, and they will be live in a few days' time. Then we will start installation of new transmitters in other states until we cover the 40 state of Biafra. And this idea of 40 state of Biafra, all of you remember that last 2 years, we started this radio project, and then we were not on satellite. So there was a big difference between then and now. And the reason why we put the radio, Voice of Biafra radio on hold after the launching 2 years ago was because we believed that we needed to do more of action work, and then the radio and the TV will come in later days, and that later days is now. So we've been able to finish the structure of the government, both the security, the Liberation Army, the Biafra resistance fighters, and as the activities of this Biafra Defense Force are going on in Biafraland, we need to keep our people aware of the activities of those defending them. So it is very important that we have this radio station and the TV station as well, which is covering the entire sub-Saharan Africa. So if you are, in any part of the sub-Saharan Africa, you will have access to watch the Voice of Biafra satellite TV, which is on 247. As I'm talking to you, the TV is live. So this is one of the updates I'm bringing to the United States, to Biafrans in the United States this evening, and we still have a lot of work to do. Also, this is very necessary because of our ongoing self-referendum. Everybody, you could remember that we have embarked on this self-referendum, which is online voting. We need as many votes as possible. And I want everybody to understand that this is a collective task that we must do. So those of you can individually sponsor many, private individuals to help in voting. It is very, very important. And like I have always said, we don't care how these votes are coming in, because we are going to defend it at the end of the day. And in case anybody is concerned about the pattern and the way this vote is being carried out. Then we'll be talking about how to conduct, a more however they want it, referendum. But for now, it is in our power to decide as a government how this referendum is being conducted. It is in our power to decide, and whoever that is not happy with the way we are conducting the referendum will also do us good to bring in the United Nations, and they will conduct it by themselves to their own satisfaction. But for us, we are very, very okay with the system and the pattern of this voting so far, and we are very, very happy with the result so far. So the first stage of the voting is going to end in May. When the first stage of the voting ends, we will now look at our progress, where we feel we need to do some amendment, and we are going to go to the second stage of voting. And I want everybody to understand that because of the disenfranchisement in the voting, because we are using electronic means, the outcome or the turnout of the voting may not be what we expect. So, but what we are looking at is to get the highest percentage from the 4 million people that voted during the last presidential election. That's our target. We are not targeting to get 20 million or 70 million or 80 million, because it is not going to be possible because of the disenfranchisement in this voting, the government threat, the fear factor, the conspiracy theory that the criminals and the enemies of our freedom are putting out there, which we believe that the coming of the satellite radio will go a very long way in putting culpability where culpability is, especially in those rural areas where they have used lies and propaganda to deceive certain individuals. So we need those individuals to also cast their vote. But as soon as we finish this first stage, the second stage of voting will probably be different from what we have in the first stage. Now we are learning to know where we are going to make some amendments. So those of you in the US, you can take it upon yourself to make contact to those back home and help in buying data for them, for example, so they can help you can give each person a task to get you 1,000 votes, for example, and provide data for them. The rules have not changed, but because there is problem with the data, there is problem with the internet, and this is the first time we are doing such thing, knowing fully well that the internet is not accessible.
Does it mean that we are not supposed to remember the heroes we pass? Of course, you know that these gallant and great men died for the freedom of their people, even though after that particular fight between 1967-1970 of Nigeria-Biafra Civil War, the then head of state, Gowon, declared no victor, no vanquish. And after that, he introduced what he called 3DR, that is supposed to be reconstruction and rehabilitation. And the other part, of course, other parts of the other regions in Nigeria has actually enjoyed that 3DR, of which the Southeast have not even enjoyed. Now, look at the building of the railways and other highways that are being built, the coastal ways and the rest of them. You find out that the Southeast have not actually benefited on all this rehabilitation, reconstruction, and the rest of that. And be that as it may, my question is, Yauruna person brother die, maybe in war or something like that, is it now an anathema or a taboo for someone to commemorate his late brother, his late parent, or his late sisters or siblings who passed away in war? And I think that the May 31st, which was declared by the IPOB as it has been known for some years now, I don't think it's a big bad thing, because that's how it's supposed to be. And that's how it is in other places. Meanwhile, make I carry you go for the full detail of the information as Southeast governors and the police yesterday urged residents to disregard the sit-at-home call by the indigenous people of Biafra. The group had declared 30th May a sit-at-home day to honor those who fought in the Civil War. Enugu state government reiterated Governor Peter Mbah's strong commitment to permanently ending the illegal sit-at-home exercise. A senior member of the Mba administration noted that the state was winning the war against illegal sit-at-home and insecurity. He said the government would not take kindly to anyone attempting to disrupt the peace in the state. He urged the people not to listen to any order to leave their businesses and sit at home. Spokesman of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide, Alex Obonia, said the organization will soon hold its National Executive Council meeting in Enugu, where a decision would be taken. The police in Anambra State urged residents to go about their normal businesses that day. Spokesman Ikenga Tochukwu did not respond to calls nor reply to a message sent to him, but the senior officer said the days of sit-at-home were long gone. IPOB remains banned and has no authority to impose such order on the citizenry. People should go about their normal businesses without any fear of any form. Our men will be on ground on the said day, the source said. Chris Aburime, press secretary to Governor Chukwuma Soludo, did not pick up his calls. Still, another senior official said the masses are battling with the hardship and one faceless group wants to impose another one on the people. Enough is enough. Police spokesperson in Ebonyi, Joshua Okando, warned IPOB to stay clear of the state. He urged residents to ignore the order and go about their activities. According to him, police and other security agencies will provide adequate security to ensure no one is intimidated that day. The Abia State Police Command and state officials said the directive was illegal and should be ignored. Police spokesman Maureen Chinaka and Governor Alex Oti spokesperson Okezie Oko did not respond to messages sent to them. Still, a senior government official warned that the state would take decisive action against enforcers. A senior officer said the police would not allow outlaws to disrupt the peace in Abia. And my people now don't see as it happen for that particular matter. This one, all this katakata was also be say the men of the indigenous people of Biafra don't declare it at home. And as they declare it at home, now the other senior citizens say that one no go happen for the Biafraland. All the governors will be say the day for Southeast say they don't carry hand put together to make sure say that particular matter of IPOB did not come to pass. Meanwhile, I will say that no onye kpọ ogio kpọkọrọ ndị mmadụ nọ nwefa ewele ya bulie egwu ịghọtago because as it be the Southeast governors are supposed to uphold their own the sit-at-home order is not to disrupt people's activities or to force people maybe to do what they don't want to do. But as I am seeing it, it is just to commemorate the 1967 to 1970 Civil War. And I'm trying to understand why the Southeast governors are so much interested in this particular sit-at-home that is going to take place in the southeastern part of Nigeria. I'm still here to understand the part they want to play in that particular matter. But before we continue, make I bring you waiting veterans they talk concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. They say U.S. military veterans right to justice Bintanyako, worried about the continued detention and deteriorating health condition of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The American military veterans of Igbo descent have written to Justice Bintanyako of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja pleading for his release. The letter, which was signed by Chief Dr. Sylvester Onya and Dr. Gossin Obiago, avid President and Secretary respectively, urged the presiding judge to obey the Supreme Court judgment on Kanu, who they describe as prisoner of conscience. The U.S. military veterans expressed worry over the judge's refusal to grant Kanu's bail application and plea to be transferred to the correctional center instead of solitary confinement at Abuja headquarters of Department of State Service (DSS), where he has been held since June 2021, following his extraordinary rendition from Kenya. The letter made available to Vanguard read in part the judge's refusal to comply with Supreme Court judgment and the lack of willingness to interpret the Constitution fairly.